Hey, welcome back to 2 p.m. with the Trigger. It's Friday. Rich Bond Trigger, the Trigger back. They help you get some tips on helping you grow your brand, helping you shine on camera, shine on stage, to elevate your brand and yourself so you can be seen as that go-to expert. One of the questions I often get is, how do I get better media connections, Rich? What do I do to make connections that will help me get out there further and further? Media personalities are a great way to help your brand grow, and getting to know them, there is a trick to getting to know them. I can remember when I first began my media journey. I was in college. There was a college radio station that I was on doing my beginning journey of broadcasting. There was a real radio station up above that blasted over the Twin Cities metro area. And I would literally go up and start hanging out with the guys, especially during the night shift. I'd go hang out and just watch and observe and be in the studio and build relationships with them that way. That's not the only way to do it, though, but it worked very effectively. So out of that, I got introduced to some other people and some daytime folks. And then when I got into sports work, I got introduced to some sports people. When I got to Minneapolis, I had other connections that just continued to fall into place, and you built relationships. But there are simple ways to get that going, because you do more connections. And we just lost our connection. Maybe we did not. It looks like we're still going. I had a warning sign come up that we lost connections. We'll see what's going on here. But one of the simple ways is to get you moving is to research media people that fit in your niche, in your area of expertise, that cover news stories that kind of flow into your area. Start locally. Start with your local news journalism people. They're always looking for local news. They're always looking at the different angles to cover people. When I was in church ministry, they called upon me pretty regularly on some of those hot topics, some disasters, some sensitive issues, and wanted my opinion. And I had built relationships for my broadcasting career and my ministry career. They knew I was a good source. So start locally, but identify people that actually cover areas that you do. Engage with them on social media. Obviously, social media is big, but there's a couple tips here on how do you build that relationship through social media. Do not just jump on and start loving everything and liking everything, and they are the best thing in the world. You will come up as a fansy, as a groupie, and they don't want that. You want to support them, but you don't want to come up on that creepy kind of stalker-ish behavior. So what you do want to do is you want to regularly engage on the social media. You want to show genuine interest, and they can tell the difference between genuine and blowing smoke. You want to show genuine interest in what they're posting and what they're sharing. Provide your own thoughts, your own feedback. Join into the conversation. Now, one way to really level that up is personalize some of your reactions. Quote something out of their article on their post and say, hey, I agree with you on this. I don't agree with you. You're right. And then add your own thoughts on it. But let them know you're really listening to what they had to say. If there's a news journalism story that they feature and they showcase something, jump into it. And, I can relate. Or maybe you're at the event that they're covering. Talk about, I was there in the crowd that day. Show that you're active and you're interested in the topics they cover. Sharing their content is always another way to get on their radar. One of the ways is to amplify them. Now, I know you want to get amplified. I know you want to get pushed out, but that doesn't happen overnight. You need to build a real relationship. And one thing that everyone loves is someone paying attention to them and someone bragging on them. Believe me, media people love when you brag on their material and you share it out for them. They don't have to do anything. You will share it out. I was on Trigger's 2 p.m. I thought it was a really great content today. Let me share what Trigger had to say. And you share it out. You begin to get noticed. The writers, the producers, the broadcasters will realize, hey, these people are helping us and are very interested. Don't overdo it, but do it in a way that reflects a nice, consistent pattern. Now, there will be an opportunity once in a while. You may be able to collaborate with one of these media individuals. Again, start locally. Don't think you're going to get the CBS and all of a sudden get the nightly news people to pay attention to you. That takes a long ladder to clients. So start locally and regionally with this idea. But if they're covering a story, often they're looking for a local angle. They're looking for someone to give a good soundbite. One simple way, and again, this is just something I've experienced myself. Comic Cons. A lot of people dress up. They go hang out. They're always looking for someone to comment on, why do you like dressing up? Why are you a cosplayer? Why are you loving this certain show? You could get on a broadcast, you get on an interview, just a small little clip by reaching out and saying, hey, I'm a cosplayer. I also do nonprofit special appearances. And you will get picked up sometimes, and they will take the story. So you can help their story, collaborate on their story, and they're willing to put you into it. Maybe you can offer exclusive content. Maybe sometimes as a broadcaster, we're offering exclusive content. We want people to get it. Offer the same thing back to those broadcaster connections. As you build this, hey, you know what? I got the special webinar service I'm doing. I've got the special project I'm going to be speaking at. Let them be aware of what you're doing. Invite them to come get good media coverage. Again, local. This is great for building up your own relationship. Go to where they are at. Go to the conferences. Go to the events. If you know of a media conference and you know there's going to be regional media people there, just go join it. Now, don't go join it and crash the party. You won't be accepted at the table. You need to go with someone who wants to watch, learn, observe. And as you do that, they will bring you into the conversation. But like any other corporation, any industry, they're going to be looking at their colleagues. They're going to look at people that they know to really interact with. But if you go to these events, you'll have the opportunity to rub shoulders, connect, and start building little relationships at a time. And that's the whole thing here. You want to go slowly. Give them your business card. In fact, give them a digital business card. Boy, you want to make an imprint on a media person? Have a digital business card, because they will thinking, wow, you're media savvy. You're in touch with us. But we don't want to have a collection of paper cards anymore. We want to have something really easy. So they will take note of you by showing you're media savvy yourself, and slowly build a relationship. One way that I did this early on in my career was, as I got to know different broadcasters in the area, I would periodically say, hey, I saw your story last night. I read this. I'd love to take you out for an ice cream. Dairy Queen was not too far from the newspaper. I would go, hey, you want to go grab a DQ? I would love to hear more about what got cut off the story, what was left outside the story. I'm showing interest in them. I'm going to buy them an ice cream. Who doesn't want that, right? And periodically, I would do that. Same thing with the TV people. I always had a booth at our local fairs. I was doing outreach and shaking hands. The media people were out there all week long. Once in a while, I'd go on by and say, hey, how's it going, Betsy? And Betsy, when you get time, do you want to go grab an ice cream or something like that? And then you build these relationships and then let them go back to work. You are building relationships so that they see you as someone worth having a relationship with. In the media, we are bombarded with so many emails, so many requests. People always want our attention, and we're chasing stories, and we're on the run trying to find that next great thing. So you need to find a way that you can distinguish yourself from those that could be too fancy crazy, a little bit, they cross the line, of those that are just trying to get out of the media people. And no one wants that. No one wants to have someone keep coming and asking for a favor after favor. Maintain regular communication. Once I got to know some of these people, I would see them at basketball games. I'm not going up. I'm not talking to them. They actually said, hey, Trigger, good to see you here today. I've now established a relationship, and when they see me in the crowd, they will acknowledge me. And then someone else in the crowd is going to say, hey, how do you know them? It's a gradual relationship. You want to show your worth. You want to show you're available. I have worked with broadcasters that were packing up. They're tearing down the gear. They need a little help. Look, volunteer. Just unplug a cord and lay it over there by the box. Fold down that music stand. Put it where they want it. you could be an available resource. They begin to know and trust you. I actually did this at a conference in Florida. It was a big major speaking conference, got into the room early, and the keynote speaker was having technical difficulties. They didn't know how to plug in and do some of the AV stuff. And he looked around the room was not full yet, and he said, does anyone understand this stuff? I'm lost. Raised my hand, said, yeah, I do. So I got up there, I helped the guy. He had a problem with the clicker, he had trouble. So he said, do you mind just standing off to the wing and be my clicker guy? Yeah, I'll be your clicker guy. That's okay. I went off to the wing. He did his presentation. Every time he wanted to click, he gave me a little head nod. He went right on seamlessly. After he got done with the presentation, gave me an autographed signed copy of his book, gave me his personal telephone number, and we continued to communicate till this was before I lived in D.C. He lives in D.C. I had to take a business trip out here. Came to town, and he said, hey, what are you doing? Let's get together. That's how you build the relationships. Make yourself available. Show that you're interested in them, but do not hound them from favor after favor. And keep that relationship going. Find simple ways to support them. But gaining media connections, maintaining media people will help grow your brand. It will help you because they're going to notice you, they're going to celebrate you, and they may open up doors to that next media person, and maybe someday you do have connections with nationally known media people, and that's some of the big payoffs. Never underestimate taking the time, supporting a media person, and just be very intentional. If you have any questions on that, contact me, Rich at richbontrigger.net. You can hear more about how some of these techniques help me to get my career first going, because it's all about building media relationships. Who doesn't like to be loved, valued, and noticed? And in the end, they're going to give back and give you the same opportunity. Hey, if you want to know more about Rock the Stage Media, if you want to be involved with one of our shows, you can always reach out to me. Let's have a consultation call. Let's talk a little bit about your dreams, your goals, your aspirations, and let me see if I can help you get to where you want to get. There is power in media, but learning how to leverage this stage, it takes a while. There are insider tips and things that you might not even be aware of, but you're wanting to learn how to leverage it. Your podcast is a great way, but maybe we can leverage that podcast greater. Hit that QR code, contact me, and let's have a great conversation and talk about how we can get you shining brighter and brighter. That's going to do it for today. I hope you've had a great week. Be safe, everybody. And for those in the Canadian area, our Canadian brothers and sisters, stay safe with all that smoke and the fire. And we will see you back here Monday for another 2 p.m.